one of the things limiting you from your income, your impact, a world-class life. You care too much about what people think about you. Everyone has an opinion. Why let the opinions of other people deny you from a life that will make history?
The path of fire and adversity, the path of blood and sweat and suffering, the war path is the interminable path of discipline, which is why it leads to freedom. And beyond that, in the end, the war path leads to peace.
Can't get up in the morning? I'm going to tell you why. Because they can predict the feeling of everything that's going to happen in their life, and their body's resigned to the familiar. It says, oh, another mundane day. But remember when you were a kid and you were going on a field trip? What happened then? You were up and dressed and ready to go before your parents were up, because you knew something unexpected was going to happen. That's how we should live our lives. Waking up with the understanding to expect the unexpected, and something unusual should happen in our life as a result of our efforts.
When you begin to look at your life, you can decide to use fear as a blocker, or you can decide to use it as building blocks. You go forth in a spirit and a knowing that there's a way that you can begin to handle this. There's a way out here somewhere. There's a solution. What it is that you're seeking, that you have the capacity to whatever comes up, to handle it, to face it. And rather than feeling powerless, you begin to feel powerful.
I say to myself, I refuse to believe that if I'm a good person and that if I'm working hard, I refuse to believe that this doesn't work out. I know that this moment's going to pass, and I know that I will look back on this moment and I'll see exactly what I was meant to learn. And the fact that you believe in your heart, that you got the mindset, you got the work ethic, you got the ability to figure this out and to keep going, and that eventually if you do, what's meant for you is going to find you. You will be rewarded for all this in the way that you're meant to be rewarded. That's amazing. It's an amazing feeling because you can pick yourself up no matter what happens.
You should be scared. You should be anxious. You should be worried. You should be concerned. You know what that means? That means you actually give a fuck about what you're trying to do. Everybody tries to preach this, no anxiety, no stress, low drag, happy all the time shit. Bro, when you really care about something, you really want something to work, you're gonna feel stress about it. You're gonna feel anxiety about it. You know what? It means that you fucking give a shit, all right? You should feel that way.
Isolation. You can be out in the world, you can be a history maker and a productive legend. You don't get to do both.
Fear. Fear is the thing that has kept most of us from becoming great. Fear is the thing that creeps in that reminds you of a past sin, a past problem, or past failure. Fear that somebody might expose you, might say anything, or feel that if I try this, what if it all goes wrong? Maybe it's time you bet on you. Maybe it's time you push everything to the center and say, here's everything I am and everything that I want to be, and I'm willing to bet on me.
I don't care where you come from. I don't care where you were raised. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care about any of that shit. If you do the work consistently, if you invest in yourself consistently, 1 + 1 is always going to equal 2. 10 years of motherfucking work when everybody else is partying, making excuses, doing the cool thing on the weekend is going to pay off.
What really you need is hunger. The most successful people on earth never lose their hunger. The hunger to be more, to do more, to share more, to create more, to become more, to give more. And if you have a hunger and it doesn't die off as soon as you succeed a little bit, then you start to become something extraordinary. Those are the people that you know their names of Because they're famous at a different level. They've been famous for decade after decade because they keep performing at the higher level, not the person who's a one-time wonder.
People have problems and they're often annoyed and oppressed by the fact they have problems, but you have your problems and the problems that bother you. Mm-hmm. And you might ask yourself, well, why do those problems bother you and not other problems? And I would say maybe it's because in those problems you actually find your destiny. And those are often things you don't want to look at, but it was something that bothered you. It turned out that was your problem. And if you faced it, well, then you figured out on that road that that was your destiny.